Hello and good night. Welcome to another bedtime story. This story is meant to help you sleep or to relax your mind. Try and find a comfortable place, such as your bed or a soft chair. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes now. Try and let go of the day as we begin our tale. Tonight's story is The Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, in a quiet countryside near a shimmering pond, surrounded by lush green reeds, a mother duck sat patiently on her nest. She had been warming her eggs for many days, waiting for them to hatch. The gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and the soft ripples of the pond shimmered under the golden sunlight. The mother duck sighed contentedly, shifting slightly to ensure all her eggs remained warm. One bright morning, as the golden sun cast its warm glow over the land, the eggs began to crack. One by one, fluffy little ducklings emerged, chirping excitedly and blinking at the world around them. They were small, yellow, and adorable, just as the mother duck had expected. She quacked happily, welcoming her little ones. However, one egg remained unhatched. It was larger than the others and had taken much longer to crack. The mother duck grew concerned but continued to keep it warm. Finally, after much effort, the egg broke apart and out tumbled a strange-looking duck. Unlike his siblings, he was not small and yellow. Instead, he was big, clumsy, and covered in dull gray feathers. His beak was slightly different, and his legs were longer. He looked nothing like the others. The other ducklings and animals on the farm immediately noticed this. "Oh dear," whispered the mother duck, eyeing her last hatchling with concern. "You certainly don't look like the rest of my children." Still, she loved all her ducklings and took them to the pond for their first swim. The little gray duckling swam just as well as the others, but that did not stop the farm animals from mocking him. The chickens clucked, the geese honked, and the pigs snorted at him. "What an ugly little creature," they sneered. His brothers and sisters, who once played with him, began to avoid him. They huddled together and whispered among themselves, casting sideways glances at their gray sibling. The poor duckling felt lonely and unwanted. Even his mother, though kind, could not stop the others from teasing him. When he tried to join their games, the others would push him away, laughing at his clumsiness. As days turned to weeks, the bullying continued. The ugly duckling could not bear the rejection any longer. One evening, as the sky turned shades of pink and orange, he ran away, slipping through a hole in the fence. He wandered far beyond the farm, deep into the wild, his heart heavy with sadness. The croaking frogs and chirping crickets were his only companions. He came upon a marsh where wild ducks lived. He approached them, hoping for kindness, but they too scorned him. "You are too ugly to be one of us," they quacked, before driving him away. Heartbroken, he traveled further, seeking a place where he belonged. Autumn arrived, painting the world in brilliant shades of red, orange, and yellow. The once lush green leaves drifted to the ground, forming a colorful blanket over the earth. One evening, as he rested near a lake, he looked up and saw a flock of magnificent white birds soaring through the sky. Their long necks curved gracefully, and their wings spread wide as they flew in formation. The ugly duckling had never seen such beautiful creatures before. His heart ached with longing. If only I could be like them, he sighed, but he knew he was far too ugly to join them. Winter came, and the world grew cold and harsh. Snow covered the land, and food became scarce. The ugly duckling struggled to survive, shivering in the freezing wind. The once friendly waters of the pond turned to ice, trapping him on its slippery surface. One day, he found a small barn where a kind farmer took pity on him and brought him inside. The warmth of the barn was comforting, but the farmer's children teased him and chased him, causing him to flee once more. He spent the rest of the winter alone, hiding among the reeds, barely managing to stay alive. His feathers were ruffled, and his body was weak, but still he endured. Finally, the snow melted and spring arrived. The sun warmed the earth, and the flowers bloomed again. The ugly duckling, now grown, stretched his wings and felt stronger than he ever felt before. He longed to be in the water, so he made his way to a nearby lake. As he swam, he saw a group of those same magnificent white birds he had admired months before. Afraid they might reject him, he hesitated, but something within him urged him forward. He bowed his head, expecting them to mock him, but as he glanced into the water, he gasped. The reflection, staring back at him, was not the awkward gray duckling he remembered. Instead, he saw a tall, elegant bird with gleaming white feathers and a graceful long neck. He had grown into a beautiful swan. The other swans welcomed him with open wings. They admired his beauty and invited him to join their group. "You are one of us," they said kindly. "You have always been a swan. You just didn't know it yet." For the first time in his life, the once ugly duckling felt accepted and loved. And as he spread his majestic wings and soared into the sky with his new family, he realized the truth. He had never been an ugly duckling at all. He had simply been a swan, waiting to grow into his true self. And so, the once rejected bird finally found his place in the world, and it was more beautiful than he had ever imagined. He had endured hardship and loneliness, but in the end, he discovered his true identity and happiness. No longer bound by doubt or sadness, he embraced his new life with pride, knowing he had finally become the creature he was always meant to be. And as he glided across the shimmering lake, the warmth of acceptance filled his heart. and he lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you for listening to this bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed the tale tonight. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more audiobooks and tales to come. Until next time.